We'll start this morning with some big breaking news.
Ayo Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State, has once again unsettled the Nigerian political scene with his dramatic decision to dump the People's Democratic Party (PDP), the platform on which he twice rose to the governorship and gained nationwide prominence. Known for his flair, fiery rhetoric, and audacious style of politics, Fayose's exit from the PDP is both symbolic and significant, raising deep questions about the direction of the opposition party and the role of one of its most outspoken figures in the unfolding political landscape of Nigeria. For years, Fayose had been one of the loudest defenders of the PDP, often casting himself as a strongman against the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). But his latest move confirms what many political watchers had predicted, that the cracks in his relationship with the party had widened to the point of no return. To understand the weight of Fayose's departure, one must revisit his storied history with the PDP. He first shot into political relevance in 2003 when he contested for governor of Ekiti State and stunned the establishment by defeating the incumbent. His victory represented the strength of the PDP at its peak dominance in the southwest, and Fayose quickly carved a reputation as a grassroots politician who was unafraid to take on elites and speak the language of ordinary Nigerians. But his first term was turbulent, ending abruptly in 2006 when he was impeached under controversial circumstances. Many thought that episode would end his political career, but Fayose reinvented himself and made a dramatic return in 2014 when he defeated the then Governor Ayo Fayose of the APC. His comeback was one of the most remarkable stories in Nigerian politics, cementing his status as a fighter who thrives on battles others shy away from. During his second tenure, Fayose elevated himself as one of the fiercest critics of then-President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC. His constant public attacks, his theatrical media performances, and his confrontations with federal institutions earned him both admiration and disdain. Fayose positioned himself as a kind of opposition warrior, embodying the anger of Nigerians who were dissatisfied with APC rule. At the same time, his brashness and controversial remarks made him a divisive figure even within his own party, where he clashed with several leaders who felt his style was damaging rather than strengthening the PDP brand. Still, his role as a rallying voice for the opposition could not be denied. Yet, after leaving office in 2018, Fayose's trajectory began to lose steam. He faced a wave of corruption allegations and was regularly summoned by anti-graft agencies. His political base in Ekiti seemed to weaken, and he found himself at odds with fellow PDP leaders in the southwest. These divisions came to a head ahead of the 2023 general elections when the PDP struggled with internal crises over zoning, candidates election, and leadership tussles. Fayose publicly voiced his frustrations, openly criticizing the leadership of the party and accusing it of sidelining key stakeholders. His relationship with the party's hierarchy deteriorated to the point that many analysts began to wonder when, not if, he would finally break away. His announcement to leave the PDP, therefore, is the culmination of years of tension, mistrust, and disenchantment. It sends shockwaves because Fayose had always insisted he was a PDP man through and through, once declaring that he would never abandon the party no matter the circumstances. That declaration now rings hollow, and critics have seized on it to accuse him of opportunism and inconsistency, saying he has merely confirmed the perception that Nigerian politicians treat parties as temporary shelters rather than ideological homes. For his supporters, however, this is another example of Fayose's courage to take bold decisions, even if unpopular, when he believes a cause is lost. They argue that his departure is a protest against a PDP leadership that has refused to reform itself despite repeated electoral failures. The implications for the PDP are sobering. Already weakened by years of defections, poor electoral outings, and internal discord, losing Fayose deprives the party of one of its most recognizable and controversial figures. Though he no longer holds office, Fayose still commands influence in Ekiti and carries weight in national conversations. His exit further erodes the PDP's foothold in the southwest, a region it has struggled to win back from the APC since 2015. The party now faces the urgent challenge of not just damage control but also rebuilding trust among its disillusioned members, many of whom may see Fayose's move as validation of their own frustrations. Attention now shifts to what Fayose's next step will be. Will he pitch his tent with the APC, where many former PDP leaders have already found new homes and fortunes? This would be a remarkable twist, given his long history of blasting the ruling party and its leaders. On the other hand, he could gravitate toward the Labour Party, which surged in popularity in the 2023 elections and continues to present itself as an alternative for disaffected politicians and young voters. Another possibility is that Fayose could remain politically active without officially aligning with any party, serving instead as a kingmaker in Ekiti and perhaps beyond. Whatever path he chooses, his personality and political instincts make it unlikely that he will simply retreat into obscurity. Fayose's defection also highlights the larger theme of fluid loyalty and unstable party structures in Nigerian politics. Parties are rarely defined by ideology or long-term vision, rather, they are shaped by personalities, ambitions, and shifting alliances. Politicians frequently migrate in search of greener pastures or more favorable platforms, and Fayose's move is another example of this trend. For voters, it reinforces the frustration that Nigerian politics is often driven by personal survival rather than national interest. In the end, Fayose dumping the PDP is less about one man leaving a party and more about the broader decline of a political organization struggling to rediscover itself in the face of defeat and disunity. It is also about the enduring resilience of a politician who thrives in turbulence and rarely shies away from reinvention. Whether Fayose's move will pay off politically remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Nigerian politics has not seen the last of him, and his voice will continue to echo in the debates, controversies, and alignments that shape the country's future.